Stuart, thanks for being here, mate.
Yeah, cheers, Ben. We're pleased to be here.
Mate, as I say, there's so much there because tax is one of those things that I think everybody sees that there's an opportunity to, every tax dollar you save is more that you can invest or direct to other areas. But I thought maybe a good place to start was just to talk, we're just gone over tax time. You're talking to a lot of people about, their tax strategies, tax planning at the moment. Tell us what are you seeing in the market? What are some of the trends or things that you're coming across at the moment?
Yeah, well, definitely at the moment it seems to be a crypto season, crypto tax season, right? And the ATOs, they've recently sent out hundreds of thousands of red letters about people not being as proactive with their tax. So that the ATO must have done some data matching with the Australian exchanges. And they're now saying for people, hey, you got to start declaring that Bitcoin, that Ethereum. So they're reaching out now, and they're declaring the tax. We're putting it through our calculators and adding it to their tax returns. But there's only so much I guess we can do from a tax advisory perspective. What we would urge a lot of more people is to before selling your house and putting it all under cryptocurrency. We've seen that happen. Obviously get some tax advice, particularly around the structuring for how you're putting down that cash, because you don't want to necessarily be investing for 10 friends and then have the tax liability fall on your head. You kind of want to have a proper structure in place for where do the tax profits go, who pays the cash. Do you have some understanding around the tax liability? We have to pay 100,000 now. We have to pay it in May. It's good to just have these headlights on your radar before you start really properly investing in crypto.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I must be doing something right or not doing something wrong, because I was fortunate to not receive one of those red letters. So, but it is a common thing that I get from the people that I talk to, and I think that because crypto has those origins in the sort of the more anonymous type marketplace, that maybe people think that they don't need to report it in the same way, or potentially they'll stay under the radar. I know that I've got those questions from people from time to time as well, talking about what is the requirement to declare and how do you do that. But the common line, and I'm not a tax specialist, which is why we're having this conversation, but the common line is that, like, at some point the ATO, like, the data is out there. We're talking about technology. There's records of these things that I think if people are not reporting things in a timely way or in an accurate way, then they're potentially setting themselves up for trouble. And while cryptocurrency is sort of its own thing in terms of the asset class or the investment type, that absolutely bang on that for any sort of investment that's not just putting your cash in the bank, then you want to make sure that what are your upcoming obligations, both from a tax perspective, but as well as thinking through from a lifestyle perspective. If there is money that you need for things, then you need to ensure that those funds are there and accessible, because the volatility of crypto, the ups and downs, is significantly higher than what you would see on the share market. And I'm a fan of crypto. I think it's good. I got some myself as part of an overall portfolio, but knowing that you want to do it in a way that if you're going to go in and play the long game, that you're able to play the long game, and you're not going to have the ATO banging down your door in October or May to cough up for something, or you need money for your personal lifestyle wants or whatever, and it's tied up because it's a bad time because Elon Musk sent out a tweet and the market's been tanked off the back of it.
Yeah, it's definitely a consideration, right? In 2018, 2019, we saw a lot of refunds, so that it was easy for people to declare then. But this year we're starting to see a lot more big tax payables, and the market it depending on which crypto you invested in, right? You may not have that actual cash outlay to afford that immediate tax payment. So you just got to time. Try and get some proactive advice around whatever you're doing, and just be wary that if the market markets go up or go south, as we've seen over a long stretch of time, that you be prepared for that tax situation, wherever it is.
Absolutely, and the common, I think the thing that I take from that is like, do it before you jump in, because sometimes with tax structuring and tax strategies and tax planning, that sometimes if you jump in, it's too late, or you're going to make decisions that you wouldn't necessarily have made if you're doing it with open eyes. So jump in before you invest, then at least you know what the situation is, and you can make decisions based on information instead of what you think might be the right move at this point.